Hello and welcome to MGP606. I'm Kev, and with me this week there is Anna and Pab. Say hello, boys and girls.
Hello. I think what Discord does is deliberately just when it listens for Anna saying hello and it just goes, nah, you're not having that.
But it's the fact that you never pick up on it, and the wait is so long. I just assume
I want to
she's
give Anna the
saying
chance.
I'm saying
it.
Yeah. One day I'll listen back to the podcast because I think it will amuse me hearing Anna quite clearly.
Oh no,
say
it's never in.
Oh, it's not in.
No.
Oh, I thought it was. I thought the podcast
sometimes it is, but sometimes
more
often than not it isn't, because I was like, it's part of the thing now. It's like I can't just put things in that we don't get. I never put it in.
Okay.
It's just a 10 seconds of silence instead.
I might just stop inviting you all to say hello. I might just introduce us. We might go modern. Intros are so 2015. We need to just get straight into the conversation. Know what we've been up to. Know how are we all doing. Know this is who we are. Just 5 seconds in, straight into video games. Imagine that if people were listening in their car, we'd cause accidents if we just got straight on topic immediately. People wouldn't be able to cope with it. They wouldn't know what was happening. They'd assume it had skipped. They'd be trying to get back to the good bit, the pre-gaming bit.
Yeah.
The bit that everyone's here for.
Just scrolling back to the start, going, it's in here somewhere, sure.
Yeah. And on that topic, I went to Comic-Con this weekend, just gone. And don't give me I've said to Anna, it's actually the best one I've been to for several years, to the point where if they continue on this new upward trajectory, you might be making a return at some point, little fella. You might come back down south.
I always try to. I genuinely always try to, but it's just too expensive to make the journey down.
Yeah, and that was an easy decision to make when it was rubbish, but it's the closest it's felt to like a pre-COVID.
Yeah, but he's saying it's expensive to get there, Kevin.
It's not just.
But if it was awesome, he'd pay the money. The boy went to Disneyland last year. That's expensive to go to as well.
The problem is, Kev, is that it's not a million miles away off just going to Disneyland every year instead.
That is true. Well, let's go to Disneyland then. All I want to do is make sure we go somewhere together this year. I need to eat my breakfast, looking at Pab having his. I need to watch Pab eat a breakfast yogurt in 2025, or else that is a rotten year. I don't remember the last year I didn't see this man eat a breakfast yogurt. And I mean, maybe 2020. I don't know. Did we get to any conventions that year, or were they all just done that year?
No, they were done.
They were all done. Okay, so. That means there's probably about there's that 1 year in the last 12 or 15 years or whatever it's been where I've not seen Pab eat a breakfast yogurt, and I'm not willing to go there again. I want to see it happen. So we'll go somewhere and do something. They've announced EGX is back.
Double bubble, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's just at London Comic-Con and Birmingham Comic-Con. So it was absolute bobbins at London Comic-Con. I can't imagine how much more bobbins it's going to be at the Bobbins Comic-Con in Birmingham. Goodness me. But Comic-Con's back. EGX is back. Hopefully it doesn't set Comic-Con back a bit, because like I say, it was like an old one. They had actual companies there. The companies were back. Unfortunately, not the same companies. There was no Funko. There was no gaming companies. There was no like proper comic representation. DC sponsored the kids' play area and didn't bring any comics with them. But there was a big Bandai Namco area. There was a big Sylvanian Families area. There was there was companies at Disney had quite a decent turnout. There were big companies there again, and it had been a while since the big companies had been there. So I hope it's the sign of some kind of return. We're never going to get back to where we were, because I think companies have realised they don't actually need to do it. I think that pre-COVID they were trapped into this whole thing where they thought they need to do this kind of community promotion stuff in order to make all their money, and then they carried on making all their money when they didn't do the stuff anymore. So they realised they didn't have to do the stuff. But hopefully, that we'll find some middle ground. We want to get Pab into the south. Oh, I'm choking.
Yeah.
I'm choking on my emotion.
Oh, you're getting all emotional.
What you were doing? Stop it!
No, it was a bit. I've got a bit of noppers on my dangle bag. Oh, there we go. I'm all right now. I mean, feel free to step in and talk while I'm choking to death.
I mean, we're all just concerned.
Oh, yeah, I'm all right. I'm all good.
He's all right. There you go.
Yeah, I'm all good.
Okay, good.
Oh my word.
It's good to hear.
Yeah. But yeah, Comic-Con was good. I had a lovely old time. I recommend it to all the boys and girls, which will come. And then the three of us Disneyland again on my back. Yeah.
What is happening?
Friends.
What is happening?
What do you mean?
Can you hear that?
Kev's turned into a robot, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is it my computer wrecking
It's
itself?
back again. You're back
Yeah,
again
you're
now.
back. But
Yeah,
like,
You just turned into a robot for a second then.
It is worth pointing out, boys and girls, that I am on a computer that is holding on for dear life at the moment.
You turned it off once in a while. It won't do this.
I mean, I turn it off quite regularly. That's not that is not what's caused the problem. But yeah, it's at the moment my Discord is using nearly 3 gig of memory just to run Discord so that I can talk to you. Which that's not right. It's not supposed to be eating that much memory, and it keeps loading new instances of both Discord and Steam, even though I keep closing them. And every now and again, my memory just maxes out and everything stops. So
maybe
if I make it through this,
give it drinks of Coke and coffee and stuff. That would help. The way you spill things all the time, I hear you multiple times.
Yeah, but I don't spill it anywhere near my computer. My computer's the other side of the room.
You don't know where you could. What's going? How can your computer be on the other side of the room?
Because it is.
No.
I can't reach it now. I have to get up and walk to get to it, to like plug an SD card into it.
It's too hot there then.
What do you mean?
Oh,
I don't think you know what you're talking about. I don't think you can diagnose a broken computer.
I just know that you're very clumsy and
yeah, but I had my nerdy expert in here last night and he's baffled. He doesn't know why it's happened. He said maybe it's been 2 years of very intensive use since I've had this one.
2 years shouldn't be breaking a computer.
Well, you say that 2 years using a computer the way I've used it. Either I've somehow managed to corrupt my Windows, so we're reinstalling that at the weekend, or I could have just burnt through my processor because of how intensively I use the computer, in which case I'll need a new processor. It's one of those two things. But it is quite possible that the amount of punishment I put on this computer, it's constantly processing stuff, rendering video, uploading, downloading, it's always doing quite power hungry things. I could have just burnt through my processor, which is still under warranty, so we can send it back for a new one. I'd just need to buy another one in the meantime, because obviously I couldn't not have a computer for 2 weeks while it was going through that returns process, which is not ideal. So yeah, if I drop out of the call, boys and girls, that's why. It's all Matt's fault because he didn't fix it last night.
Exactly. He comes out.
I sent him a text last night at 9 o'clock saying, I don't know what's going on. My computer's behaving a little weirdly. It's jumping a lot when I'm using Premiere Pro, and it crashed midway through recording a Football Manager video this afternoon. And he said, I'm on my way. And he left at God midnight, and he's coming back on Saturday, and he's spending the day here. I'm gonna put on a little picnic for him, and he's gonna reinstall Windows for me and do some proper diagnostic stuff. But yeah, he was fiddling with it for hours last night, getting it working.
Did you give him a drink?
I did. I wasn't even prompted. He said, goodness me, no one even prompted you.
There you go.
He knows, he's here so often at the moment, he knows the drinks menu. I don't even have to tell him what the choices are. He says, I'll have a Dr. Pepper Zero, please. He knows there's Dr. Pepper Zero here. He knows the menu.
Well, it's because Amazon had a sale and you were all over that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for a cheap Dr. Pepper. You know me. I've actually played some video games again this week. I've done about 10 hours of gaming. Maybe 12 hours of gaming, maybe.
Yeah, that's probably more than me.
Well, and that doesn't count all my Football Manager. I'm a gaming professional. But I continued playing Oblivion until I stopped. Because
I'll get over a rock.
No, I got over the rock eventually. I had to deviate from the blue line, which really annoyed me. So that kind of set me up for a sour note with it. And I played it for a couple more hours after having to deviate from the blue line. And I'm just, it is feeling its age. Although it's been shinied up theoretically, it doesn't look that shiny on a Steam Deck. I showed Anna, and the Steam Deck version of it in 2025 on the remaster looks a lot like the PlayStation version of it at the time when it first came out. So I'm not really benefiting from that. So I'm kind of just replaying the same 20-year-old game, and it feels like a 20-year-old game. I kind of, it's happened so slowly and gradually over the last 20 years. I've not really realized how sparse game worlds were 20 years ago, because back when this game came out, just the fact that it was so big was the selling point. But then you had stuff like Red Dead Redemption and Grand Theft Auto, and even like the further games in this series, Skyrim, stuff like that. But there was like, it was a big area, but it was a big area that was full of stuff. Whereas this is a lot of just walking in a straight line with nothing happening to get to another conversation where you get given another fetch quest, and then you go and fetch it and you don't see anyone on the way, and then you do the thing and then you have to walk all the way back again. And it's just a lot of walking a long way with not a lot happening and in a very empty world. And like I have ventured into the Imperial City now, and there's 4 shops. They're in a row and they're very clearly labeled which one's which. And it's all very, I can see why I loved it as much as I did at the time, but I don't need to spend my very valuable gaming time on it in the modern age. So I went back to my original plan that got me to juice up my Steam Deck again, and had another go at trying to get Fallout London working. Failed again because it's confusing.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I failed again. But I did start playing Fallout 4, and I think I'm finally ready to play this game after, what's it been, 10 years of, because my big complaint was always that obviously it's nonsensical that you abandon looking for your kid almost immediately. But I think now I'm a empty nester. I'm much less attached to Sean. I'm like, whatever. I don't really care. I'm gonna go and have fun in the wasteland. So I've set up my character. Every now and again, someone mentions, shouldn't you be looking for your kid? And I'm like, well, I could, but I do have this shack to rebuild or this place to go to. And I'm just going to go and do my thing and listen to the fun music and shoot the moles and just generally pootle around and have a nice time. So I've done I've done like 8 or 10 hours of just basically shooting moles and digging holes. And I'm having quite a nice time just living in a post-apocalyptic world where I have no children and the whole intro didn't happen. I found a nice way to convince myself of that was to remove my Fallout jumpsuit as quickly as possible. So I'm dressed as a raider. I'm wearing full raider garb. And I've just turned to a life of crime. And I'm stealing, I'm killing, and just basically terrorizing the wasteland and ignoring the story. So I don't know how long that will hold my interest for, but it's such a contrast from what I had with Oblivion, because there is so much going on, and you'll just be walking around and you'll hear someone talking, and it's like, oh, well, I can go and see what they're doing. And it's not even set up as a quest or anything. It's just like, it's normal. It's a proper living, breathing, actual world, one that I've never fully experienced because the story upset me so much because it was so silly. But yeah, I've got my power armor. So I'm mooching around in my power armor. The first time I played this game, my power armor ran out of juice and I had to leave it in that first town. But this time, as soon as I got it, I killed the big lizard that came out of the ground and then legged it back to Sanctuary and left my power armor there before I even went back in to talk to Matey. It's like, look, I'm claiming this is mine. This is my power armor. So it's set up outside my house. And just
make sure you take your fusion core out of it, because you can come back and someone will be wearing it. Just take the fusion core out anytime you leave it anywhere, because people will steal it. So just take the.
Oh, well, then I'll murder them.
The fusion core out.
Yeah, I'm not afraid to murder.
If you do that, you're damaging your power armor. You don't really want to spend all of your like extra things and bits, because they are hard to fix up. But yeah, just take the power thing out and you'll be fine.
Okay. How long until I get the fairy lights for my house? Because I've seen you have fairy lights before. I want some fairy lights.
I don't know.
That's kind of what I'm hoping for. I want to make my house pretty.
I think you need DLC for all that stuff. I think
I've got all the DLC, because when I came out of the vault, like 12 quests popped up immediately.
Oh, okay.
So I think
I've got all the DLC on there.
Then if you go into if you're in your home menu, if you go to lights, they should be in there. But the thing is, you might need components to make said fairy lights and like the electric. So yeah, but go through your lights. They might be in there.
I'll go and look for them as a top priority. Far more important than looking for my child.
Yeah, lights or wall decorations. It's in one of them. I'm sure it is.
I will get on that immediately after this podcast recording.
If you've got all the DLC, yeah, they should already be in there.
And then the other thing that I'm doing that is gaming related, I'm preparing to sell my Switch, because I guess I don't need it anymore. Because Switch 2. Yeah, I'm going from a 2 Switch man to a Switch 2 man. It's quite the change up in my life. But what are we, boys and girls? What is the protocol here? How are we disposing of our Switches? Are we disposing of them? Pab, are you getting rid of yours?
Are they both? Are they both just regular, or are they
I've got a regular and an OLED, but they're just normal ones.
Oh, okay, cool.
But I assume there's no.
I assume you're doing it the Vita way, just straight in a skip.
Well,
no, because he knows he can get pennies, and we need the pennies.
Is eBay still the place you do this, or do I take it to CX?
Kevin, what? Can I have your orange and purple controllers, please? Thank you.
I wouldn't know where they are. I think they're on my original one. I'm looking at my OLED one now, and that's got the blue and the orange ones.
I would like the orange and purple. I can give you brand new ones.
Yeah, I don't know that I've got them. Did I ever have orange and purple? Are you sure that's me? Are you sure that's not you?
You did. I never had extra ones. I'm sure it was you. I don't think it was Pab, because I know Pab's bought his out.
I've got
you've got a purple.
I've got like
one.
8 Joy-Cons. So
that's what I mean.
Have a look through at what I've got. I've got some spare ones in this box in front.
I'd like the purple and
orange. See, these are just the original ones again. I've got some spare ones here that are blue and orange. I don't know where my other one is. I need to find that. But yeah, I'm trying to get everything together and work out, because I've probably got like 60 Switch games as well. So I need to get rid of some games, because I don't need all of them. So I'm trying to whittle down to prepare myself for Switch 2 life. But all the Switch games work on the Switch 2, don't they? I am right in saying that.
Within reason. Yeah.
Like if I want to play Mario, I can stick it in and it's going to work, or Pokemon.
Yes.
The games I'm likely to keep are still going to work.
If you want to play Labo, then not likely.
If you want to play Anna never let me have that.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Labo, you didn't let me have that.
He didn't. It was because I know what you would do. You would play for 5 minutes and then you would just stick it in a cupboard, and it was just cardboard. So I was like, no, we're not going to do that. So I never got to play it.
But Ring Fit won't work with it either.
Yes and no. Well, in theory, yes, it would work, because
that big circle that we got that's around somewhere.
In theory, it would work, because all you got to do is sync it up. You don't have to connect it to the actual console, do you?
You swear it.
You just have to sync the. You have to use an old Joy-Con, I think, because I don't know if it's going to connect.
Can you use old Joy-Cons with the new Switch?
Yeah.
I don't see why not. Yeah,
you can.
Everything. See, this is why we need to have this conversation. So I don't want to sell all my Joy-Cons, because like I want to.
You want to keep for you. Yeah.
I want to have some spare Joy-Cons so that we can do like 4-player stuff sometimes, like at Christmas and whatnot. I want to be able to have the option. Okay. So this is a useful conversation. It's quite handy having a gaming podcast. I'd recommend it to anybody. Get a couple of experts around you and ask all your gaming questions. It's very useful. But yeah, that's where I am with that. Because where are we this time next? Will we have them this time next week? When does it come out?
Yes. No. As of recording, no. As of episode release, yes.
We should
So
probably delay the episode, shouldn't we?
Next
So
Thursday, we
talk
could
about
push it. We could push it a day if you wanted to, because it does come out on the 30th.
We probably should, shouldn't we?
I
So
won't be on that one then.
Hey.
Because you'll not be talking about that, and I would just be bored.
But you'll have seen it. You'll have things to say about it.
No,
I mean, this is assuming very deliver mine on launch day.
Yes, me too. I'm saying with Argos.
Yeah, that it's we shall see, I suppose. Yeah, we'll figure it out next week. Yeah. I'll be really upset if it doesn't come on launch day, knowing that I cancelled my Nintendo one.
I'm off next week as well, so I'm just literally going to be sat in waiting.
We're going to Disneyland next week.
No, the Switch 2's coming out. I'm going to be sat in the window looking for the...
They're not bringing out any games for it. Let's go to Disneyland. It'll be there when you get home.
No.
Oh, Pappy, I want to go to Disneyland.
No, Kevin, we've got bills to pay.
Balls to bills! That's my new T-shirt. Balls to bills. I want to go to Disney.
I want to go on a cruise, but I couldn't do that. So.
Go on another 3-night cruise in February, whenever you want.
I want to go to the Circle, but you said no. So
we went to a Circle.
Yeah, but I've been there before.
Yeah, that's what makes it great. I
want to go and see.
We did exactly the same things in exactly the same order. I don't know if we ever mentioned this, Pappy. The cruise we went on this year was on the exact same days, like same calendar dates as the one the year before. So on my TikTok, I was getting my on this day stuff that basically showed me everything I did the year before, so I could make sure I was doing the same things on the same day in the same order. It was brilliant. Yeah, it was very good. I woke up every morning. Right, what am I doing today? Let's have a look, because Kev from a year ago is going to tell me what I'm doing today, and it was very handy. So we should go to Disneyland the exact same days that we went last year, so I know what to do on which days. I finally found my penknife today after it was confiscated from me at Disneyland. Not today, last week. I found my penknife. It was still in the boot of the car, and the car's changed since then.
I was about to say, didn't we have a different car?
Yeah, I obviously just moved it from the boot of the old car to the boot of the new car and didn't acknowledge what I was doing. But yeah, don't try and sneak a penknife into Disneyland, kids.
I like it.
That's my tip of the day. But yeah, that's me playing games, selling consoles. Basically, the modern day gamesmith is what they call me.
I don't know what to do with that. I'm going to be holding on to mine for, to at least transfer everything.
Of course, yeah, that's a good point. Is there a nice, easy transfer thing, or does it? I might want to keep hold of it for a week so that I can.
Yes, exactly. There is a way of doing it. There's like a cloud thing. Apparently, there's an app on the Nintendo Switch now. I don't know if it's out right this second, but there will be an app.
I'm charging it up now so that I could back everything up that I needed to back up.
Yeah, apparently there's an app that you can pretty much just go send it up to the cloud and then it'll bring it back down on the new one. But I don't know. I'm just going to do like it always did and have the Pikmin back and forth.
I just don't want to lose my Balatro progress. That's all I really care about. Everything else can go, but I need my Balatro.
Fair enough. I don't know. I genuinely don't know what I'm doing with it right now. Saying that, my mum, I think my mum's got wind of maybe it's just the advert started going up or something. She said, "Do I need one of these?" I was like, "What?"
I mean, that's a good sign for Nintendo because
I was like, Nintendo Switch.
Obviously, with the Wii U, they absolutely balls up the marketing, and people didn't know it existed. So at least they're getting the messaging right, I guess.
Well, she had the last thing she had properly was like a DS, and she liked doing like the brain training and the Sudokus and stuff like that. And I was like, I just said, no, not really. You don't need one.
She does need one.
And then I was thinking, I could just literally give her my old one, to be fair, if I wanted to. So maybe it goes that way.
She wants a new one. Don't make her have old tech.
No, there's no point.
Poor old Mother Pab.
To play Dr. Kawashima?
Yeah.
You don't need it.
Anyway.
Yeah, it's on the regular Switch. Be fine. And it'll have a better screen than the two, because it has the OLED.
Is the new one not an OLED?
No.
Oh my word! Why not? So they can sell us an OLED in 2 years.
OLED in 2 years, yeah. They ain't daft.
I still haven't got my OLED Steam Deck. I'm still on my launch.
Oh yeah, I'm still on my launch one. I didn't see the point of that one.
I need to stop giving these companies all my money.
I mean, yeah. I mean, at this point, you might as well wait for a
It's like you don't
Steam
need
Deck
one
2.
because they'll still bring that Pokemon game out on the Switch.
Yeah, but I don't want to
normal one.
play it
Oh,
like
yeah,
a
but it's
peasant,
awful.
do I?
But you can
Yeah,
play
it'll
it
be
on
horrendous.
the OLED screen then.
Yeah, but
It will look nicer.
But it won't look nicer or play any nicer. It'll be horrendous, like
Yeah,
all the old Switch Pokemon games.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, I don't really want to go and play Cyberpunk on a Switch because it just
No.
And that's what's coming out. You're getting all these like.
Oh, I'm not getting any games.
Yeah,
At
that's
the moment, I
games that
don't
are
have any
coming out.
games pre-ordered. I'll probably get the Mario Kart one because it looks fun.
You're getting.
You'll get the welcome tour, I'm sure.
Oh, that's the one that's a tenner, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'll get that. I'll get that to have a little look. But yeah, I've not got any games ordered currently. I'm
finally
not
learn what frame rate is.
Well, I probably won't.
You're gonna get the frame rate game wrong.
I mean, I won't be able to tell. I'll be like, well, this is nonsense. This is Emperor's New Clothes. There's no such thing as frame rate. Because my computer's on the fritz, someone put in my YouTube comments today, why is the bitrate so low? And I was like, I don't know what that means, but it might be because my computer's breaking. But I don't even know what a bitrate is, and I don't believe you can see it from watching a YouTube video.
Who's tapping?
The bitrate is like... I'm going to sound stupid now, because I think the bitrate is to do with the... I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
The more I think about it, I go, huh.
He's like, why is your bitrate so low? I don't know that it is.
It's to do with how the quality of the picture. It's the picture quality is.
Well, then my response was right. Then, 'cause my response was, you realise this is Football Manager.
It's usually a YouTube thing. It's like it takes time for stuff to get uploaded, and then sometimes if you upload a video and it gets released at a certain time, the higher res versions they only trickle in compared to the lower res versions. Something like, I don't know YouTube stuff, but I think it's something like that, isn't it?
Okay.
I don't know. I'm talking nonsense, aren't I?
You are, but I'm downloading a 29-minute update on my Switch. Oh no, it's now to 6 minutes now. 4 minutes, 3 minutes. We're good. My Switch is working again. 2 minutes. Do you want to know when it's updated?
Oh.
I'll keep you informed. You two talk about video games.
Anna,
what have you been playing?
What have I been playing?
You were playing Guardians of the Galaxy quite a lot.
Oh yeah, I finished that. I finished that last week, I think. Yeah, I finished it.
Good.
Yeah, just finished it. There's nothing I can say about it because you just finish it and then nothing, and then you're like, I really want to play that again, but they're not bringing another one out, which is so annoying because it was such a good game. I enjoyed it thoroughly. It's like one of them favourite games that I have. I just like it. I like the people. Obviously it's Guardians, and this is what Concord should have been. Just more, because it had like the Guardians feel, and like yes, it had that kind of feel, but it was not very good. That's why it's no longer online. But yeah, I just want more Guardians, but obviously they're not bringing anything out. So I was gonna go and play Spider-Man, but I thought no, I've played Spider-Man too many times. So what have I downloaded? I downloaded Borderlands, the pre-sequel, because I want to play.
What?
Shush.
The pre-sequel.
The pre-sequel, the one I don't like, but I only download that because there is because I want to
reasoning.
To play the Claptrap DLC because that was one of my favorite DLCs, and I never finished it. Well, I was at the end, but I just kept getting dead. So I didn't play it, but I want to go back and finish that because it was one of my favourite DLCs. I just need to find out how I get there as fast as I can. But while I was doing it was like 2 a.m. delirium, so I was in bed, and I was just like, what can I play? Because I got to a stage where I had finished Guardians, and I was in that flump. I was like, I need something to play, but I have nothing, so I slept for like 3 days, just like issues, and then at 2 a.m. I was like, right, so I downloaded the pre-sequel. I was just trying to find, because I was like, I can't find it on, well, I can find it on the Xbox, but for some reason I don't own it on the Xbox. I thought, well, that was weird. Why don't I own these things on the Xbox? But I don't. So I downloaded that on my PlayStation. I downloaded it on the hold on. I downloaded the pre-sequel on the Xbox, but the Xbox wouldn't let me play it because it said, like, do you own this? And I was like, well, I don't know, why did you let me download it? So I couldn't play it on there, so I downloaded it on the PlayStation. I played it for about, like, an hour, but then I kept in my head going, there are Borderlands games that I haven't played. So I am now at the moment on episode 3 of new Tales from the Borderlands. And that's what I'm playing at the moment. I think it's 5 episodes. I'm on episode 3, but 3 at the moment is like really long. But the episode 1 and 2, especially 2, was very, very short. But 3 is quite long, so it's making up for it. But yeah, you're basically just a brother and sister, and I don't know who she is, but she's like she employs the brother, and like you make up a team. And you have a gun that does something that will help humanity that you got from Revolt, and now you're trying to sell it. And that's where I got to, because obviously I'm on episode 3. But as I was playing, I'm thinking, I've played the first episode of the old Tales from the Borderlands. So I went on my what I've downloaded in the past, and I do own that, so I've also downloaded that because obviously it's been upgraded to better graphics, because I think that came out on the PS3 like that long time ago. So I've also downloaded that, so I've got that to play after this, because I'm just wanting to play. I just want Borderlands in my life. I like things that shoot people in the head, and I'm quite happy doing that. What else did I play?
I mean, you've not got long for the new one, though, isn't it? September
12th, yeah.
There you go, excellent.
Not long, but I because the first Tales of Borderlands is the story between 2 and 3, which I never finished. But this story is nothing to do with.
You never finished it?
No, because I think what happened was I was playing it, and because back in the olden days, something went wrong with the PlayStation edition, and I was just like, no, right. I can't be bothered with that, and I just never went back to it. But I own it because I downloaded it. But yeah, PlayStation was having a sale that ended like yesterday, so it's not on there anymore. But the new Tales of the Borderlands was like £22 instead of like £40. So I thought that was a great price for like a £40 game. But then I found out, thankfully I don't own it, but on the Pandora's box, Borderlands Pandora's box, everything, you know what I mean? Everything is in it. You get all the Borderlands, you get all the Tales of the Borderlands, you get all the DLC. So yeah, you can buy it separately, but if you buy the big fancy box, which is like over £100, I don't think it's like worth it at the moment. If you don't own any Borderlands, it's worth getting. But if you have everything else, then don't bother. But yeah, it's also in there. So if you have the Pandora's box, they're all in there. If you didn't know, but yeah, just going through some old backlog stuff. I found out about a game called Mind's Eye that comes out in June. Apparently it's like from the people that made Hitman and other things, and it looks quite cool.
It's the thingy. Is that Benzies? That's it's the GTA guy, isn't it? Yes. One of the GTA guys.
Yes, so they made that GTA, and another one made Hitman. So I look at that and I thought, that looks cool. I'll have a go. That's something about you get like your eye gets like a chip put in it, and then I think you like kill someone, and now you don't know why you're killing so and so. And yeah, I don't quite know the story because I watched the trailer and I was like, what's going on now? But yeah, that comes out like in a couple of weeks. So that looked fun. Like I told Kevin to like pre-order it for me, and apparently I told him to pre-order that months ago, so it was already in my noggin But yes, that's coming out if anyone needs a game to it. There was another game I played, but I, for the life of me, can't remember. Oh, I played that Obscura game again. I didn't start again. I just like carried on.
Yes.
As I went through, I have done 2 mimes. I've done 2 of them.
Yes.
They weren't that
Yes.
bad. They were quite easy. Well, not easy, but like I understood what I was supposed to do. Took them down.
Yeah, they're not too bad battling wise. They just got a huge health bar. That's the only issue.
Yeah, you have to know what you're hitting and why you're hitting it and how you're hitting it. So I did 2 of them. I have the Baguette outfit now. I just don't know how to change my outfits.
Okay,
I can't seem to find it.
Open the menu. The menu. You'll have your pictos and stuff on the left, and then luminas and stuff on the right. It's just above the luminas. There'll be something called something like wardrobe or something like that, and it'll. If you've not looked at the new things, it'll have like a little yellow, like a little flashing dot sort of thing, like saying that you got something new in there.
Right, because I couldn't find it. I was like, I know
that's the one thing I'll say about the game. It's very the menus are a bit fiddly at times, and they're a bit cluttered together.
Yeah, because I was like, I want to wear these things.
Yeah.
Like, they look fun. Because like I changed his hair like the first day I got that, but that was like weeks ago, so I've forgotten. But yeah, no, I'll go in there and I will do that. But yeah, I did some mimes. I finished the sea, and then I had to go and find these face mask people, I'm gonna say. And I had to go and do that story, and that was fun. And I would say, if you always find a shop, always fight the buyer, because you'll get extra stuff from that. Well, not extra stuff, but you get like a good like reward of what you can buy. Because I was like, oh, do I want to do that? Do I want to fight him? Because you only fight 1-on-1, which like sometimes you're like, oh, that's annoying, but yeah, you don't need.
But they are very much like the mime, so
yeah,
they're quite. They have a bit of a health bar on them, but they have like 2 attacks and they don't attack very hard, so it's not horrendous. You can tank them pretty much.
I died twice, and that was because I didn't understand the pattern. Well, I understood it, but I just misjudged it, and I got wiped out with that. He was a big dude that I was taking on, but
yeah.
Apart from like at the start when I came out of the first area, went into an area and found someone that was hard, like level 30, and I like died instantly. I haven't died that much from just like not being hard enough. It was just I didn't see the pattern, and I saw the pattern too late, and I died. But yeah, it's a nice game. It just feels not empty, but just feels a bit lost sometimes. So I guess that's the way the story is about loss and about these areas. These like the French capital shouldn't be all scattered around like it is. But yeah, I like it. It's I like the fighting. I don't know how to parry. Parry does my head in. I cannot parry first. I can dodge, but I cannot parry to save my life. And jumping is just atrocious. But
jumping's all right once you, because it's just a flashing big flashing icon, and you just jump and then you can counter that as well. You can counter that with a right trigger. It's not.
Oh yeah, I found that out now. But I was fighting someone and he kept jumping at me, and I thought I had to jump.
Oh no,
but I don't.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
And I was just like,
I mean, there is an optional boss, Anna. I'm curious to see if you find it where you have to parry him.
Right. Okay.
As in, you don't get to have a go unless you parry him.
Right.
It's just always the enemy's go.
Yeah.
And you have to parry him to pretty much stun him out of that thing. I didn't do it. I gave up because I was like, I couldn't fathom out what I thought the game was bugged initially, and so I stopped, watched the video, and I was like, oh, okay, I realised what it was.
Yeah.
But I looked at what you get out of it, and I don't care enough to try and do this, because I tried like 2 or 3 times, and I went,
No.
Yeah, because if he gets a hit on you, you're pretty much dead.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you've got to either dodge or parry, but the only way you're going to get a goal to hit him is to parry. Dodging just pretty much just keeps the status quo of you just staying alive and him attacking. So you have to parry. But I was just like, nah, I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered enough to do this fight. So
no, maybe they'll put a thing in where it's not, because it is like blink and we're not even blink, half a blink and you miss it, and it is hard. I think I've parried a handful of times. It's just so hard to do. Like, it is worth it because you I think you give damage back and you get extra whatever they're called, pictos, or I don't know, whatever they're called, that you get back, and it is worth parrying. But for goodness me, it's hard.
yeah,
so
it's not easy, and it's one of them things that I didn't do a lot of because I've since learned that to get like a counter attack on, you have to parry everything in that turn, sort of thing. So every attack in that sort of turn, the enemy's turn, if you parry it all, you will counter attack it. If you parry one of them, I mean, well, good for you, but it doesn't matter. You dodge the rest and counter one it. You're not gonna do a counter attack. You're only gonna parry it, and you go, yep, okay, great. If you've got some pictos set up to do that, where if you do successfully parry, you get some AP back from it, then that's fine. You can do that, but you ain't going to be counter attacking unless you parry everything. To which I just was like, okay, I'm not going to bother then. I'm just going to dodge out the way and just beat him up when I get the chance.
No, I have like lots of them add on. I think I don't know what things are called, but the things that like you can mess them around and add things and.
Yeah, so the pictos and the luminers.
Yeah, I just use all that to take into battle, and it seems to work because I was doing this one battle and I needed lightning, and no one had lightning, so obviously I got annihilated. So I came out, went back in, but before I went back in, I set everyone up with at least one lightning spell, and yeah, I cleaned up no end. But yeah, you just need to know what you're fighting and how you're fighting it, because like. The big bosses that you do play, you do come up against, you do come up smaller ones before that, so you know what to look out for when you come to a boss. So you are going through the game and you are making sure that you have got them spells and stuff that are already in your repertoire, so you can, when it comes to a boss and you don't know, you're like, oh, I already have all this set up, and then you can go in and do what you need to do. But yeah, it's a good game. It's very French. Kevin came in the room and went, I want to play this. This looks like a Kevin game.
I'm not gonna lie, Kev should be playing this.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it. I need it in a Steam sale. Because I want to play it on my Steam Deck. So I don't want to pay full price for it.
I mean, 26 quid on CD keys.
Tell them to bring it out on the Switch too. Give me something to play on that.
It might be. I don't know. Maybe. Never say never. Never say never. But it won't be this year, realistically.
Well, that's no use to me then.
But like you just said, CD keys for you've got the equipment to play.
Also, I'm not certain it plays on a Steam Deck. Or if it does, it doesn't play very well from what I've heard. It doesn't play great on it.
I've got no interest in playing it. I don't play sat in a chair. I play lying down. That's the only way I play games now.
You should check if it's verified, Kevin.
It's
I know
playable, apparently, according to
Steam. Yeah, I've heard it is playable, but I don't know. I've heard it.
It says the game's launcher may require the touchscreen or virtual keyboard. My touchscreen's broken. I'm not going to be able to do it.
I don't know about that. I don't know how that.
Keyboard.
I genuinely don't know what that means because I don't know that. What?
Get it on your Steam Deck and tell me, Pabby.
I'll see if I can do that. Yeah, I'll see what I can do with that. I'll let you know. But it's not. It's just a menu. It's not like you need to put type anything in. You don't need. I use a controller.
Pabby, I don't know.
No, that's what I'm trying to figure out what it means by touchscreen or keyboard because. I think I just played on a controller and I just opened it up and just went menu, go. And that's it. Huh. I'll have to look for you.
Yeah,
I'll have to investigate.
That you should.
Yeah, you should be playing it. You definitely should.
Well, I'll play it right now then.
You're very much right that it is. You're right to seeing what Anna's playing and saying you should yeah, this is.
Yeah. Well, it was obviously my game she was playing. She stole it from me.
I was playing before you did.
You should have just given me the controller and let me take over.
Wow.
It's
You weren't
Kevin's
lying
game.
down.
Well, I can lie down on the floor.
Do that then. It's on Game Pass.
I mean, we've got a Xbox in our bedroom. I could just play it lying down
It's on
on
Game
the
Pass.
Xbox.
Oh my God, Kevin. Oh, you could play it, you're just choosing not to. I get
That's
it.
correct. Yes.
Indeed.
That is what that's all I've done this week. I'm just borderlandsing my nose off. That's where I'm at.
It's fair enough. I finished Expedition 33. I finished
Never heard of it.
It's funny, really, because they announced yesterday that after 33 days on sale, they have sold 3.3 million units. And I finished it in 33 hours.
Fair enough.
So I was like, oh, that's.
Sounds to me like you might be a witch, sir.
Yeah, it's an odd one. I was like, wow, that's something, isn't it? I finished it in 33 hours. Cool. Yeah, it is something else. The ending is it's great. It's great. I look forward to playing this again. I don't say that very often, but I look forward to playing this again because I know full well I miss stuff.
Mm.
If you see the Gestural beaches, I encourage you to go to the Gestural beaches. Have you been to any of those, Anna?
No, I ain't got a boat yet.
No. You will. You know SKA though. I assume you know who SKA is. Maybe.
I think she's doing one-word answers, and Discord is
I
cutting them
don't.
out.
I don't. Who?
SKA, the big fella, the big gigantic. I don't know how much you've played of it to say whether you've met SKA yet.
I've basically met people that have masks on.
People have masks on. The big the like.
Yep.
You got to the Gestural village then, where there's like lots of them.
Yes.
Right. Okay, so you might not have met SKA yet.
No, I've just got there.
Right. Okay, well you'll meet SKA, who's a character you'll meet in the game, and he'll give you the ability to swim around and wander the map, sort of thing.
That's
anyway, you'll find beaches, and spoilers for something that isn't really a spoiler. You'll want to do them because you get swimwear for them. For your team.
I see.
But one of them, but they're all from what I played. I think maybe 3. I don't know if I did them all. I did 3 or 4. They seem to be just like assault courses, varying in difficulty. One of them, which is like basically an only up level. Yeah, if you remember the game Only Up, that was last year, was it? Or remember Chained Together, where it was like you just have assets just going up into the sky, and you have to kind of navigate your way up. Yeah, there's one of them. There's one of them in this game. Where you have to climb up to the top. I fell off only once, which wasn't too bad, but I was quite a way up when I fell off, so I had to start again at the bottom to do it, and I did it the second time. Yeah, I did get some swimwear for all the characters. But yeah, the ending is not what you expect at a certain point.
Okay.
I kind of like saw it coming a little bit, and then it kind of swerved the other way, and I was like, oh, okay, and then, like I say, you think you're done, and you ain't done.
No.
You think you're done, and you ain't done, and
games are good at that. Games do that a lot.
And I'm not sure. I don't think I'm spoiling it saying this. I don't know how many endings there are to this game.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like at a certain point I get given a choice, and I'm like, does that affect what ending? Is there a different ending to this then, or is it just like different branches to the same, leading you back to the same path? I don't know. Again, another good reason for me to play it again at some point.
Is there space for it to have a number 2 come out? Is there?
I don't think there'll be a second one.
Really?
I don't think there'll be. Apparently, they have already started working or just looking at like what to do for the next game, but I don't think it'll be like a continuation. If anything, I saw someone else say, "Please just make Clair Obscur your Final Fantasy sort of thing, and just in the same sort of world, but it's nothing to do with this sort of thing." I was like, "Oh, that's probably not a bad way to go about it," because, like they say, the whole mechanisms and the combat and stuff, everything is solid. Just
Apparently,
another game.
There's only 2 endings.
Yeah, I assumed it would be 2 endings.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is. Okay, there you go. So
that's all I'm reading. I'm not reading anymore.
Yeah, I don't. So now I'm like thinking, yeah, I look forward to actually doing it the other way at a certain point. Then, because yeah, it is right now probably comfortably the best game that I've played this year. Now at this point, a bit behind. What would it be? Split Fiction, possibly. I think Split Fiction was probably front running that up until.
Yeah, I need someone to play
Expedition.
that with me. Because someone won't play it with me anymore for some reason. He's not listening. But it was a good game. But I can't play it on my own. I have to have you play it with me.
Well, let's play it now.
Oh, we're doing this at the moment.
Well, I offered.
But
yeah.
So
yeah, I finished that, and like you, Anna, like you finishing Guardians, I was left with like a hollow kind of hole as to what to play, a void of like what am I doing now?
Mm.
And I was like, what have I played before this? What did I do? I genuinely couldn't fathom out what I was doing before this game came out, and I was like, oh yeah, Assassin's Creed.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's the last thing I want to do right now. Just go back into a massive open world where I'm just running around just killing random people. I was like, no, this is compared to this tight little small game that Expedition 33 is and well told story and executed perfectly. It's like I just don't want this huge open world that not right now. So I was like, yeah, I fancy a racing game. I just fancy a drive around somewhere. I was like, oh, go back on Forza Horizon 5. Let's do that for a bit. Did the whatever it is update for that, booted it up, and it's just, honestly, God, I don't think I played for 20-25 minutes before I got into the actual game. It's like updates. This is what's happening now. This events that's going on. It's 20 wheel spins. I was spinning the wheel on 20. I had 20 wheel spins on the go, so I did that. Got a load of new cars and stuff like that. Finally got into the game, and I just opened the map and like, right, what do you want to do? And it's just like it's just absolutely littered with just icons and stuff. I don't know what. It just overwhelmed me a bit, and I just kind of turned it off. I drove around for about 10 minutes. And I was like, I don't know what I'm trying to get to. There's that much crap on the maps. I was like, it's just a lot. It's just a lot of stuff, and it was just too much for me. I was like, I just wanted to drive around for a bit.
Yeah.
I was like, but I don't know what. I'm just overwhelmed by the 50 odd icons on the map that you're trying to send me to and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, nah, I turned it off. And then I was looking at things. I'm thinking, do I look at this Oblivion thing? Because I was starting to get listening to podcasts now where they're talking about Oblivion and stuff like that, and I'm thinking, do I give it a go? And it pushed me back in a different direction. Me thinking about that, I was like, oh yeah, I've got Avowed. I've got Avowed, and I like Avowed. I was like, it's sort of in that sort of ballpark, swords and shields and stuff. Yeah, okay, I can do that. So I went back to Avowed, and I'm so glad I did because it's I always said this every single time I play it. I really enjoy my time playing it. This is like the third time I've gone back to it now this year, where I've had a break from it, and I just come back to it, and it's like this is just a pleasant game that isn't on like the Skyrim or the Oblivion levels of like freedom, so to speak. You can't just wander off. You can in a certain sense, but it's not as big. It's scaled back. There's tons of quests to be doing, and yeah, it's just a fun little game that I ended up doing some side quests, and again, I found myself enjoying the side quests just as much as the main quest. The side quest I did. I found some like begrunt, like some like angry looking farmer who was like some thieves have nicked all my crops and stuff like that and all my food. I was like, all right, okay, I'll get him back for you. I then went to the icon on the map roughly where he was. Found him. It was some sort of like thieves guild sort of thing that I'd found previously in the previous land, because I'm in the Emerald Stair now, which is the second land in this world.
Yeah.
In the previous land, I think I spared their leader sort of thing last time. You know, we got into a fight and I spared him, and I think I banished him. I was like, "Don't come back round here."
Yeah.
So then I found the rest. I found the rest of the thief, like the bandit camp, as it were, where they'd all were, and he didn't like the fact that I'd spared him and stuff like this. And I found him, and then he was like, "Oh, we need it," sort of thing. So I just kind of let him have it. I was like, "Well, no, at least I have a thread with these people, and I have like a tether to these people, sort of thing. I know roughly who they are." I had this random guy who was a bit snarky with me on the roadside, wanted his crops back, and I said, I just went back to him and, "Nah, they've got it, mate. They need it more than you." And then he got all proper snotty with me, and then I just was like, "Well, let him try and fight me. I don't care. Try it." But he didn't. He just kind of got all snotty and walked away. But yeah, I just enjoyed doing the side quests. I found, I think for the main quest, I had to find something in like some sort of like woodland creatures zone. It was strange. It was like just like these like woodland. They looked like they weren't groups, but they were all like they looked like tree people sort of thing. And I needed to do it, and it said, "Go in guns blazing if you want, or you can try and talk and to convince them to give you this whatever it is that I needed." I was like, "Okay, I have quite a good like stats for talking to people. Let's do that then." Wandered into the area, got attacked by this tree person, not realizing that's who I was going to talk to. It was one of the guards, but it's like a huge like encampment sort of thing with loads of people in it. One of them just aggroed on me and just started attacking me, so I just killed him. And then realized where I was. I was like, "Oh, I need to be speaking to these people. Is this going to ruin my chances talking to them now because I've just killed one of them? Is this game going to realize that? Is this game clever enough to notice for me to kill one and nobody else saw it, so it didn't happen, sort of thing? Or is this game like triggered like I've stepped over a tripwire now and now they're all going to be aggro, and they were all aggro on me?" I didn't kill anybody else, so I didn't kill anybody else. I ran all the way to where my checkpoint was, where I needed to get to. I literally ran for about 20 people, just bobbed and weaved my way through everybody. Got to where I needed to be. Got to like the queen of the whatever it is that I needed to speak to. And she was just stood there silently, nothing. There's like a big like wall of thorns in front of us. You can't get to her. I tried climbing over to get to her. And then she just kind of woke up and started fighting me. So I was like, okay, well, I guess we're doing it the hard way then. So I beat her up and everyone else around and took what I needed. And I was like, well, I kind of wanted to talk this through, but I don't know now whether I will be able to. But it was because I triggered the fight by killing someone randomly, and the game was like, right, you're fighting then. But he started it. So that's how it is. But yeah, it's been fun just doing that sort of thing and just getting to play this game. I don't know how much more I'll play of it. I know by the time this podcast comes out, the new Elden Ring game is out. I own it. I have purchased it. It's not out yet until the Friday.
Good luck with that.
So we'll discuss that next week. I'll have played some of it by next week's episode, as well as Switch stuff probably. But we'll see. It's one of them things that Avowed is just a very well made, knows what it wants to be sort of thing game that isn't wanting to be a Skyrim or a Oblivion, because it's more honed down and more focused on what it wants to be, and it's just a smaller scope.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, if anything, I prefer that. I don't want a game where you can like have infinite quests and just there's tons of stuff going on, and I just want a nice, good, well-made game that tells a good story and plays well, and Avowed is very much one of those things. But other than that, I think that's roughly probably it. Unless you want to like say me getting very, very shouty at Marvel Rivals again because I'm back on the ranked grind and I hate it. I hate
if
it.
If you ever need any tips, just let me know. I'm very good
ask.
at it.
Yes.
Yeah. I find win is it. That's tip number one.
It's always the aim, but
well,
I wish I could employ you to do that, to tell the rest of my team that, because I feel like they don't really want to win. That's what I feel most of the time. I want to win.
You need to recruit some new members to Team Kev.
Well, it's this problem I'm playing with randos, so
bunch of plums. Right, shut up. Let's end the podcast. If you want to find us on the internet, you can do that at MGUK Podcast, or you can find me at Lelujo.
I'm at Mr. Lelujo.
And I'm at Pab 1986.
And we will see you next week, boys and girls.
Bye.
Thanks for listening, folks.
You're welcome, Pabby.